guys. All right, Matt, what's going on?
So many things.
So many things. It's Monday and we are back. And again, what do I have on? The Platinum Jane, because we got our straps back in stock, Matt. And I think these are perfect with this Platinum Jane. And also I would XL. And then also you come over here, we have it in the yellow and the platinum, which I think is perfect with these straps that came back in stock. So we have, let's see, this guy. I think this is great for this. With this guy, I think is great. I love the colors with it. If you're looking for something really fresh and fruity and juicy for summer, right now, that's what it feels like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get it. And this weekend, I traveled with this guy, and it was just fantastic. Mine is now what? God, almost 2 years old. And I love it. It's just getting better with time. And
This actual bag?
No, this one is
okay.
the store one, but the mine at home.
The one that you took on the
Yes,
trip.
it's just amazing, and I love it. And it gets softer, and I just love it. Just great to just.
That one's so nice.
I know this one. If you're thinking about getting this one, which is the cognac, I think we're down to like a couple left. So definitely we're going to be recutting it, but it's going to be another.
If you're
couple
gifting
months.
a guy, consider that one.
Yes, right?
It's a nice one.
I love this leather. It's so wonderful, and I
Like
love
that
it
would be
with
a
the
great
white stitching.
out to the island for the weekend,
Yeah.
weekender.
Yes, it's so great, and I just find it so beautiful.
leather.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
It's just a little bit, it's just weathered a bit, and it's just beautiful. I love the richness of the color. It's amazing. And then this guy, obviously,
I
is
may
a
want one of those.
showstopper.
Do you have any extras?
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
so good. This is a showstopper camo. Love it. People travel, people work with it. I just love them. And then obviously, if you love the butterscotch and you want to add the butterscotch, this is a great contender. But I just think this is, again, it's like, okay, we've been doing a lot of traveling, and I just keep going back to the Jane because I feel like, I don't know, it's just great for that purpose. I put my computer in there, but then I can use it during the day. Like we went out and I just use this all the time. It's great. It's awesome.
How many straps did you take on that trip?
I took one.
You went with one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just use this a
Because
lot of
sometimes
times.
when you go on trips, you take multiple. So
Yeah. No, this time I just kept it easy. And actually this was great because I used this guy a lot too. For inside, I put all my stuff in there in the pink and the green. I love the green one. So I took this to Iceland, remember? This is amazing. And I have it, and I did it with this guy. I think it's just, I mean, look at this, Matt. How great is that? So either if you're a green person, you could use this strap with it, or a pink, either that strap could be used for either one of them. This is one of my favorite things, and I love it in these metallics. I think these are wonderful, and I just love them. They're soft, and they're mushy, and they're just, look at it, it's so cute. And I just love it, even as a little clutch. I took this out a lot when we were just going out to the dinner or whatever. I would just take this with me. It's amazing. And then during the day, I just put all my like plugs and chargers in here, and then dumped this into the bag. So then I just had it because I knew we were gonna be out. So where were we this whole weekend? I was in, Matt, where was I? Anaheim, was it? It was just like, gosh, super hot there. And that was quite an experience. We had a basketball tournament, and it was just, I don't know. I think it's just like when you're in the situation like that, where I think that is a whole, like, people go to Disneyland there, right? So obviously the food is not as healthy as it should be because I think it's just, I don't know. Is it just because it's Disneyland and you guys are on vacation? So I was just telling Matt, like, I was just feeling really like, even when we tried to make healthy choices, it was tough, right?
You drove.
We drove like, we would drive half an hour, 45 minutes out just to eat healthy food sometimes. But it was just like, you come back and you just feel really lethargic. And I think it's just a accumulation of all those things. It's really hot. So it was quite an experience, I'd have to say. And then being at the basketball tournaments, you're in the sweaty gym. So I'm glad to be home. How's that? I am. And I think it's like you come home and you're like, oh, I'm so glad to be in our house with water. That's, like it's just all that stuff. So anyways.
Were you guys ever at the Momentous facility with the 21 courts?
No.
Okay.
No, we were in high schools
All right.
this whole time. So, super just crazy, sweaty, hot. But it was fun. We got through it. And I think this is our last tournament of the year with this
That's
AAU.
crazy.
I know. And then I saw a lot of moms and dads with baseball. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm complaining. Like, can you imagine? Like, you have to be outside.
In this heat.
Yeah, that's super hot. So hats off to all the moms and dads who do baseball. I think Stephanie has to do baseball, and they have a Tuesday tournament. That's pretty rough. Those are long.
It's gonna be hot this
Yeah,
week.
and I think that's what I also noticed. It's just like the amount of people with their kids. You could tell the ones that were doing the sports because they had the mom or dad with their child. There was a lot of them, and I'm just like, God, this is a lot that everyone does, So hats off to all moms and dads who support their kids to do these sports. And we were just saying, it's a lot, but then it's so much better than having your child not be, having nothing to do sometimes. It keeps everyone on a schedule, keeps everyone active, and I think it's a lot of work, but I think it's very healthy at the end of the day. So anyways, that's what's going on. We have some exciting new colors in the Charlie bag coming in, I think in the next couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that. But I think right now it's like, if you're asking me, I think for PTTV this week, I just kind of want to go through like, what do we want to use in the summer? And what are we using now? And we're in high summer right now. And I know and certain things that are selling out, if you're asking, where we bring in for summer only, like this amazing sling and basket weave. I was like, oh my God, I have to get this one. I have the black one, but remember I gave it away. So I'm waiting for mine to come back. The first thing I did was when we got back from Iceland, I was like, Stephanie, I need that black one back. So I'm obsessed with the black one. I'm obsessed with the black basket weave and Jane. So that's another one that I have. I love all the Charlies that are coming back in these amazing colors. And then I did steal the ice blue micro mini with the red thing. I took one of those because I'm really obsessed with it. And then I'm also actually really obsessed with this olive suede. And you're like, olive suede summertime? No, this is amazing. And I find it so, again, like a crazy beautiful with this new strap. Look at that, Matt. It's so beautiful. And I just love the pink pop. I find this so beautiful with like a beautiful, brilliant pink or beautiful, brilliant like yellow. It looks amazing with. I think you could really pop it. And then it's such a versatile color because in the wintertime, you could use the darker color straps. So I am in love with this olive. So if you love the caramel suede, this is the same beautiful Italian suede that we use. It's slouchy.
It's a really nice suede.
Beautiful. I love this. This Charlie bag was
like, I could see a jacket in that suede.
right,
Yeah.
and I'm just so happy the Charlie bag. People love it, and people are really like taking to it. This bag took us about, I would say, almost
That
a
was
year.
a process.
Yeah, this almost took a year to come up with. Really, like went back and forth the way it should slouch. It's just one of these things where Matt and I always talk about this. Like, a new bag comes, but we have new bags that are coming for later on this year. But it takes a good how long, Matt? You see it. The process is about almost sometimes a year.
At least.
So they don't come like right away.
And it's not a process that can be rushed either. 'Cause you have
No,
to
because it takes a lot of
live with
testing.
it and iterate.
And also feeling like, what suedes, like we went through a bunch of different suedes. So there are different suedes, but then finally we found this beautiful Italian suede because it does what it needs to do, where it needs to slouch, it needs to get better. How this slouches and how this lies and how the straps feel. It takes so long, so much back and forth. And I just have to commend the sewers and the pattern makers who just keep going back and forth with me to figure out how to make a bag that is just this wonderful and how it feels. And I just want people to understand that bags don't come right away, and bags take a very long time to make.
There's a long gestation
It's
period.
a very long gestation period. I'm living with bags
And it's
that
very active too. Like you'll have 4 or 5 different ones. You're
we do
tweaking
different
it.
leathers with it.
Sometimes
We
the tweak
test it.
doesn't work out, and then you take 2.
Linings change,
one step
everything.
back.
Yeah, and like stitchings have to change. We learn from
Or
it.
like you said, like you had the different leather lining, and then it was sat up too much. It
Yeah.
wasn't slouchy, so then you
It's
have
just
to.
a lot. Zipper size, like there's so much that has to go into making a bag. And I just feel like people need to really understand. And when you see other designers too, it's like the art of it, the art of really taking the time to come up and conceive with the bag that you want to live with, the materials. It takes a very long time. And like, I guess we just have to appreciate that process, and I feel like sometimes we just want things so quickly that people take it for granted. But honestly, this bag it took a very long time to make this bag. So I'm just really happy with this bag, and I love this bag, and that's why I'm just happy that we're adding all these different colors, and it's just so wonderful to see, and like so wonderful to see people with their bags. So I love this one. So love the olive suede. It's just wonderful. So that's what's going on, Matt. What else is going on?
Really intrigued, inspired. I stopped it because you passed out, so we
Yeah.
had to watch it together. But
Yeah.
The Simone Biles
Yes.
story.
Yes, I'm so tired last night.
Really interesting.
Yes, and I think what's so interesting
And
is
especially interesting, I think, for our generation, because they were talking about, and I remember that, those
Yeah.
Olympics in the 90s,
hardcore.
that attitude from coaching.
Yes.
It was like, the way they said it was, can you do it? Yes or no? And
Yeah.
if no, then you're done, and we move
Yeah.
on. And if yes, then great.
Well-
But I really think that they're onto something more powerful.
I think what it is also this concept of holistic instead of just like, can you do this or not? And you know, that poor girl who had to like do that jump, they should have stopped her. Like, then what happened was she did the jump, she broke her leg, and I swear to God, she didn't come back again, right? I don't think so. And I feel like then your career's done. But I feel like with Simone Biles, she got to where she, you know, during that time, and she was like, I can't do this, you know, like I can't do this.
Well,
but
something happened
yes,
while she was in the air.
correct,
Yeah, it
But-
wasn't I can't do this. It was stuff that had been pushed down for years
correct, came up
on its own.
in addition to all the pressure. So at that moment when she had those twisties, that's what they called it, the coach could have been like, okay, you know what, we're this far in, you cannot let your team down, you got to get back in. Or that coach was smart enough to be like, no, we got to take you out, there's something wrong, we're just going to take you out. And then they had to work for the next 4 years on figuring out what was happening to her mentally. So
Yeah, that's why I paused it,
holistically.
so we can check that out. But
Yes.
I think you and I are slowly uncovering a lot of things like this. So it's like we were always taught like, oh, balls, like just
Balls
go
to walls,
full
yeah.
out until you're exhausted, like
No.
lifting weights or
Well, it's
anything,
like zone 2.
anything you do, right? But then we discovered the zone 2 thing,
Yes,
complement, paired with
it's
HIIT
so wise.
training. So it's
Yeah.
like I think it's when I saw that, I was like, oh, what's going on? Like
Yeah.
Twitter, like
Yeah.
we all didn't know,
Yeah.
right? Because we were trained to be that way.
Yep.
But I think now there are cases, and it can be taken advantage of too. Don't get
Correct.
me wrong. But the true cases, this is a more enlightened and effective approach.
And it leads us to, and I had this,
And what a waste!
I had
She
this-
hadn't come back. She's
No,
back.
she's back and
for this
stronger than
Olympics,
ever.
And I can't wait to see what she does.
because I think she would have gotten really hurt and she
Yes.
may not have come back forever, you know, so I feel like it's so smart and wise, like Matt said. But I think this is what we've been discussing, Matt and I, at home, even with our doctors, you know, like we're really into a holistic doctors, the doctors that don't just repair your issue at heart, but look at you in a holistic way. So what is stemming from, like, for example, this woman that we were listening to this morning, women have been coming to her nonstop at a particular age, which is at menopausal age, for something called a cold shoulder or frozen shoulder. This happens to you, and
I like cold shoulder.
I know, cold shoulder, frozen shoulder,
Yeah.
where you just have no longer use of your shoulder and it's completely frozen. And it is so painful, and it's so painful to fix. Because we work with this therapy
And
person.
no one talks about it.
Right, and she says that is the most painful thing for her because she's got to rub it out, and it's just, imagine something like encased around your muscle and it's frozen, and then they have to work through it, and it's just god awful pain to get it, break it down. So obviously she could just cure you for your frozen shoulder because she was an orthopedic doctor, or she's like, you know what, there's something going on with women who are menopausal. If you look it up, there is something at that age where there's a lot of women with this issue, and that's due to the fact that you have lower estrogen, and it's causing this one thing, which is the frozen shoulder. So instead of just curing you for this, because I'm an ortho, I'm going to take care of you in a holistic way. So let's look at what's going on at this time in your life. Do you need estrogen? So I think it's a lot of
Or
other
even the
things.
equivalent for the male too, because she was talking about that. It's like, because there's testosterone
Testosterone.
replacement strategies,
Yeah.
right? But she made a really good point where she's like, we should be doing the blood work
Yes.
in the kid's prime,
Yes.
because otherwise, how do I know what level
Your
I'm
base
at?
level
Right.
is, because every guy's base level is different. So you could use a roundabout number, but it should be yours. So I think it's too late when you start thinking about all this stuff, which we kind of did because we weren't aware of this at around 40, late
I don't
40s.
think it's too late. I
But
just said it's
it
less
would be
than
nicer
less than
if
optimal.
if
Yeah.
you're listening and you're actually younger, you're in your mid 30s. It's a great time to just get base levels for everything.
It's so hard to take
and
that
start-
on faith, though.
I know,
Like,
and
if you
start-
can you imagine talking to your 30-year-old
No,
self?
no.
So,
So yeah, but let's say it, right? And
Yeah.
you could get all the base levels for everything. I think it's really important. I really do.
Yeah, you know what? That it's like just take that on faith because
Yeah.
it's not that it's trivially expensive. You do need to pay some money for it, but for your future self,
It's
just
important.
get a comprehensive blood work at
Yep.
your prime, right?
And tomorrow-
get a comprehensive body composition scan.
Yep.
Then,
Just get a great
because it's
baseball.
all about the change.
Yep.
Then when you forget about it and now you're 40 and you get those scans again, you'd be like,
Oh
oh,
my God, thank God I did it because now I know what it was
that
at
and you'll see
35.
the change,
Yes.
which will be a big motivator.
Yes, and tomorrow I'm going to print out that photo of the muscle.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
took a
print that.
screenshot of it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm so
We'll print it out and we'll
so
show it to you.
intense.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I think how it relates to what we've been doing, and I haven't, like, I was like, I can't pinpoint why we're doing all these things that we do for the last 5 years.
That
in
was a
terms
really
of-
good epiphany. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we're so into talking about nutrition, talking about mental wellness, talking about your physical health. And people are always like, what does this have to do with a bag? And I'm like, I don't know. I just want to talk about it because I think it's important to share this information.
Instinctually, we knew we needed to talk about
Yes.
it. But now you have
now I
intellectual
get it.
reason.
And it's the
Yeah.
same thing as the doctor. Like, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like taking an approach to making you feel good and good about yourself and how you carry yourself. So yes, we make these beautiful bags that you can use during the day. It makes you feel good. It complements your outfit. It makes it easy for you to look good. However, that's short-lived.
That's this shoulder surgery.
Yes, that's frozen. Yeah, that's the doctor who just gives you medicine to take your, make your frozen shoulder not hurt, but not fix it. So I feel like that's what we're doing here is we need to do a holistic way. Like it's down to like let's put oil on our body. Let's do all these things to make yourself as a whole feel good about yourself. So it's diet, it's nutrition, it's moving. All these things that we find, mental wellness, sleeping, all these things that we share, I think is all these things together, if you make these slight changes, can make you as a whole feel great about yourself, and that's how you carry yourself throughout the day. And I really feel strongly about that. So it's not just about one thing or the other. It's about how do I take care of all these aspects in my life? That's really important to make yourself feel good, to get up out of bed and start moving. And I think movement is so critical in all of this. Like movement is how you move forward, and like how do you not stay stagnant?
Well, the opposite of movement is what?
Death?
Right?
Yeah. So how do you...
It's as fundamental and simple as that.
Yes.
And all of these other things that we talk about are flavors of movement.
And it's hard. Like it's hard and there's people where it's like I can't even get out of bed. Like what are you talking about? Like I can't even put one foot in the other to get dressed, and which we know like that happens to people. So I feel like how do we just keep this message of how do we keep moving? It can be big and small. Start small. Start with small things, and always face fears. I think that's critical because you know what? I definitely faced a huge fear this weekend with me driving in that insane freeway. That was freaking crazy.
Hats off, you did a great job.
But I came home and I was like, dude, I feel like I got an accident because I was like white knuckling.
I was
half of the
stressed
stuff.
out for doing
It's
all that.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Like we had to change like 5 highways just to go 15 miles. It
Yeah,
was
because
nuts.
the roads are crazily designed, plus all the other people on the road.
Are crazy,
Yeah.
and everyone's driving so quickly, and it's
At least
like
everything's consistently crazy. I was telling Thatcher, like, that makes it a
Yeah.
little bit easier. You can
Yes.
count on everything being crazy.
yes. But it's okay. Also, what we realized, and even Thatcher was like, you know what, Mom, you just missed that exit. It's fine. We'll
Doesn't matter.
reroute and go back.
That's
what
right.
happens? You're just late. That's fine.
That's right.
Better than going crazy and trying to change 5 lanes and then getting in a car accident. So I think that is zone 2 for
You
zone
gotta go
5.
with the flow.
Yeah. So anyways, there's a lot to think about, but I think it's just like, let's really think about everyone as a whole. Like, how do we holistically feel good about ourselves? How do we holistically move forward? And part of it is getting dressed, and part of it is having
Moving.
accessories. No, but it is. It sounds
Moving.
trite.
Moving.
Correct. But I feel like, sometimes people are like, oh, it sounds trite to be like, oh, let's make ourselves put makeup
That's
on.
only looking at that thing in isolation.
Right, but it's important though. That's a big part of it. So I think that's why we do what we do. We want to make things that make you feel good and make it easy for you to do that. So that's, I think, our mission in life, right, Matt?
Yeah, that's our test for when we're introducing something. Is
Yes.
it a good
And the
thing?
Charlie bag is a great test for that. Does it feel slouchy? Is it easy to wear? Is it lightweight? So it's all these things, and that's what our test is going forward with all these bags that we make. Some really fun stuff coming along the way. So we're testing a lot right now. I know. All right. Well, have a great day, guys. And tomorrow, What were we gonna do tomorrow? I can't remember. There was something we were gonna show. I can't recall. We'll get there tomorrow. How's that? All right. Bye, guys.